So we're going to do the Automoblocks axle. This is CAD Model Features Part 2. You can see it's cylindrical. It's got circular symmetry. So the revolve tool is going to be the way to do this one. We're looking at a cross section here, a cutout view, and we're just going to have to sketch this half highlighted in blue, and then we'll be able to revolve that. We're going to have to put down a construction line to revolve around. And you can see there's nothing complicated about this. There's just a lot of different geometry that'll have to get dimensioned correctly. So we'll take our time, we'll sketch a little bit and then make sure we dimension it instead of trying to sketch the whole thing out and then apply dimensions. Okay, so we'll start with this left-hand side, and then we'll do the right-hand side, and then we'll finish up the top. All right, so just moving over, we can see, we'll sketch this part here first. It's going to be 0.19 over, and it has a diameter of 0.19. So you have to remember when you revolve this, it creates circles. So we're going to see a lot of diameters. We're going to measure back to the center line, the revolution line. So we're not interested in the diameter, we want the radius. So we'll take the diameter and divide it by 2. So in this case, both our dimensions are going to be 0.19. All right, we're going to start with our construction line. And let's make sure we turn construction off now. And we're ready to just do some lines here. So up and over. All right, remember the dimension of this was 0.19. And the dimension from here to the center line, right, the diameter of the circle it's going to create is 0.19, but we just want the radius, so it's 0.19 divided by 2. Zoom in here a little bit. All right, we're going up and over again. All right, this time we're looking at a diameter of 0.25, and we're going to come over 0.25 as well. So we want to measure the diameter, or rather the radius, we're going to measure back to the construction line. The diameter is 0.25, we divide it in half. Okay, so we're at this point now. Now I want to do the other side. Notice they don't give us the thickness here. I see 0.07 here, but it doesn't look like these two lines match. So what we'll do is once we finish the underside here, we can put this 0.88, and that will constrain this part even though we don't have the thickness listed here. Okay, so we'll come over some unspecified distance. All right, we're up. That's the 0.19 again, and we've got 0.33 across. Okay, so this is the part that is unspecified. All right, we'll come up. I can avoid dimensioning if I make sure I constrain it to the previous line that had a diameter of 0.19. And it didn't get that previous line, so let me do that. All right, so I want to lock it in where I have a dotted line going back to the line going on the left-hand side. And then we'll come across. Okay, So this was 0.33. Now I shouldn't have to dimension this. In fact, I'm not sure if it'll even let me. But it's the 0.19 divided by 2. Okay, so I am able to put that dimension in there, but nothing changed because it was already set to 0.095 because I constrained it, or rather I let this line match up to the height of the previous one. Okay, so now we're going to come up. 0.25 is the diameter, so same thing. I could match that with this line, and then I don't have to dimension it. But I'll put that dimension on there just to constrain it, and we're coming over 0.05. So again, you can see it's already at 0.125, which is 0.25 divided by 2. So I'll just keep it like that. Okay, now we have these two endpoints, and I want to put this 0.8 in. That'll take care of this unspecified distance there. So I want to dimension from that point to the endpoint there. Okay, and it did trim that up a little bit to make it shorter. Okay, so we're going to come straight across. No distance set for this, but we need to end it before we get back to this line. Oh, and we need to come up as well. That is 0.29 for the diameter up to the top of that. Okay, so this is the point where it would match up with the line underneath it. We don't want to go that far, so we'll shorten it up. Okay, and this is 0.29 divided by 2. Okay, and we'll come across 0.07. And we need to go up to a diameter of 0.4. Okay, now going across, and I'll show you this on the drawing, this corner does match up with the line underneath it, so I do want to get it so it's underneath it, so that these are matching here. Okay, so this is 0.4 divided by 2. And we'll set that to 0.07. Okay, now it looks like it moved this line in. Let's zoom in on that. Yeah, you can see this line, all right, doesn't meet there. And it clearly does on the drawing. All right, the extension line here actually extends into the drawing to show you that these two lines should have verticality. So we can use the vertical constraint, that point, and that point, and then that will shift over. Okay, from here you can see we have, this is angled down. And the easiest way to do that would just be if we know the 2 points, then we can just connect those 2 points. Okay, so why don't we build this up on this side? All right, we're going to come up to a diameter of 0.3, and then we go over for a thickness of 0.05. So the thickness is 0.05. Let me zoom out a little bit. Okay, so the dimension from here back to the center line. All right, the diameter is 0.3. We want to divide it in half for the radius. Okay, so we want to make, well, we need to bring this down a little bit first. Okay, so it looks like we're going down 0.01. And then we can see this 0.3 we just did, they have an extension line all the way over to here. So I want to dimension this to 0.01. And then I want this line to come down. You can see it should be in line with this over here. I can't quite get it. I'll just put the line down. And then we'll dimension from the bottom point of that to there. That's our 0.3, and that's divided by 2. Okay, and now we can do a line from the bottom point there to the top point there. And that is our profile that we're going to revolve. Hopefully we've got a closed loop. Select revolve. It does highlight our profile, so that's good. We just need to select the axis, which is this. Okay, and there's the basic shape. Okay, we do need to come in and put the cutouts in here. So you can see that's 0.04 wide and it's 0.2 going back. Okay, so what we're going to do is just create a sketch here. And I'm just going to do a line. That'll be the center line. In fact, let me do that as a construction line. And I'll put another line on the other side. Okay, so it was 0.04 wide. So then I want this to be 0.02. And I want this to be 0.02. Okay, I'm not sure why that line went down, but that's fine. We can use the extend tool. Extend those two lines. We'll trim off the bottom part of it. Let's see if we can put an arc in just to make it a closed region. Okay, so now I have a completely closed region. We want to do the same thing on the bottom. A couple different ways we can do that, but we've done circular pattern before. So we can use that here. Again, the geometry we want. Let's zoom in. All right, the two arcs and the two lines. The axis is right here, and we just need two of them. And we'll put it in the right spot, right at the bottom. Okay, so we'll extrude this region and this region. We want that to be a cut, and we are cutting at 0.2. That will cut that out. Let's go ahead and change the color. Just do a simple black axle. All right, we'll save it, and that part is all done.